What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&D from Art Hard Studios. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClenahan, and I hail from Las Vegas, Nevada. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. We absolutely love doing this show, and we love sharing it with you, and we love all the feedback that we're getting, and all the different communities and stuff where we're getting feedback from you guys, the different D&D groups that are reaching out to us and stuff. I've been lucky enough to be asked on some podcasts and stuff recently, so just keep an eye on the Weed&D Hub as we go through this. There's going to be some really cool cross-promotional stuff going on, and I just have to say, as a D&D fan and player for 27 years, I'm just like super touched by how awesome all the people that are creators in this space have been. So my thanks to you guys, everybody that's reached out. D&D 420, you guys are great. D&D with THC, you guys are awesome. We did a little bit of a podcast with somebody across the pond in the UK this week as well, man. It's just, things have been freaking awesome. So I just want to thank you guys for your big part in that. Obviously, just having you guys here and paying attention at all is just the greatest gift of all. So thank you so much. We love you here at WeeDnD. We talk about you madly. We talk about you constantly. So thank you so much. Anyway, let's see. Isaac, how you doing tonight, buddy?
You know what? I really want to see where we go when that book thing happens.
See, yeah, the book thing got me too, right? All right, so yes.
Creepy.
Very creepy. Very creepy. We're headed into some creepy stuff. All right, guys, well, I do not want to wait anymore. I would like to kick this over to the best thing about this show, and that is our most wonderful cast. Oh, what's up, cast? I'm going to take this bad boy right here, and I'm going to tap it off with my girl, Brenna. Brenna, how you doing, girl?
Oh, man, I'm so stoked to be here, buds. It's Bruno, the sea elf, and I'm here to figure out why books gotta be so dang mysterious and mean, right? Sucking us into their dang old pages. I'm not about that. But I am about passing this guy over to Abby.
Hey girl, hey. Abby Dandy, tennis smooth hands at your service. Ooh, we got some stuff to unpack. Ooh, but I'm ready to do with you, buds. Passing it on to Drew.
Thank you, baby girl. Yeah. What up, buds? Drew. Oh, wait, no. Doricus. That's right. That's who I'm playing tonight. Anyway, yeah, I got really stoned at the end of the last episode, so I got some catching up to do. Wanna join me? How about my best friend? Come on in, best friend. Come on.
Oh, you'll know I'll be their best friend. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Jake Taylor, once again, as Rial Othravan, the Arcane Trickster Rogue. And welcome to the spooky Magic School Bus episode of Weed&D. Take us there, Bam.
Oh, thanks, bro. Weird, it turned into a joint. Anyway, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and let Gus introduce himself as well.
Yo, what up? I'm Gus, 3 Blunts Langley. I'm gonna be playing Duvet because tonight Divot is gonna be fancy as fuck. So welcome to the party, and I'm gonna slap this ass back over to Mac.
Oh, what 3 blunts have turned into 3 joints through the power of the internet. That is live at its best, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, we are going to go right to our ritual, which we love to do around here. Maybe you know about it, maybe you don't, but we like to take a little bit of a lighter, you know, like this one just right here. We like to make sure there's nothing flammable around us, and then we like to reach forward and go, lighters up. Let's play some fucking D&D, guys.
So load up bowl and make a roll to take control with D&D.
Ooh, all right. God, I love that intro. All right, here we go, guys. If you will please allow me to set the mood. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they had managed to fight their way through an elaborate series of magical traps, which sought to prevent them from reaching a large tome at the end of a strange pocket dimension. A dimension that they discovered after following Divot through the shadowy portal in the Murk Wood. After being asked by her patron deity Tharizdun to end the life of her brother as sacrifice to make amends for the misuse of her powers, Tina Smoothhands rejected the god of trickery from her soul, and as such was disconnected from her clerical power source and the root of her magics. After being summoned by both Thoricus and Divot, the divine spirit known as the Raka granted Tina use of her magics, as the five attempted to push forward against the dark magics which would hold them at bay. Upon reaching the tome, the five were drawn in by a great force of elder magic, and thus the great prophecy continues. All right, guys. You're floating in the midst of a great darkness. There is no light. You see only the outline of the frame of your allies as you suspend almost as if in water in a great stretch of immense darkness. You look around and see nothing other than the soft faces of your allies. When suddenly, in a great distance in front of you, you start to see 5 small lights walking across the horizon. At first, a soft glow, but as they seem to move, they come into greater view, and their light begins to glow brighter. 5 shapes, 5 adventurers. You see the various weapons on their backs and strapped to their sides, and in front of them, on the far left horizon, a great shadowy darkness. You see as the 2 images come to the center of your vision, and in a flash, they're gone. You hear the piano play. Once more, off on a far horizon to your right, you see another 5 dots appear on the horizon. They begin moving, growing brighter, once more leading into a great shadow. As the shadow and the lights near each other once more, you see a great burst of light. Whoosh! And then nothing. You tap your foot. There's ground beneath you. But that is all. What do?
I want to get my wits about me and kind of try to get my steady footing on the ground.
So Brunor, like I said, it feels a bit like you're floating. So the element of water to your sea elf, upbringing is a very natural feel for you. And you quickly, as you would in water, let the air out of your lungs and attempt to sink yourself onto the ground. And you feel a solid beneath your feet. You get your bearings. You can move. You take a slight step forward. You can walk. But you don't see the ground you're standing on. Again, just the slight outline of your friends and allies. And again, on the horizon, 5 dots.
Did she step on anything I could have heard? Or any of us could have heard?
Who, Brunor?
Yeah, did we hear her actually hit the ground?
Yeah, you hear the I mean, it's such a void of nothing. Other than the piano, and it's like all your other senses are kind of heightened. You hear the metallic boots of Brunor to your right.
Mm.
There's the dots of light, and then there's also that darkness, right?
Correct. And again, once more, as you've seen it play out before, those dots start moving toward that shadowy horizon.
I also, just without even thinking about it, kind of start drifting towards that shadow.
So, Divot, you go to move, and you're still kind of floating in the ethers of this strange place, just beyond the pages of the tome you were sucked into. You feel that call bringing you forward to the growing shadow in the distance, and you almost start swimming through the air. You can feel you're pushing yourself through these strange pockets of air and energy. This place is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. Even in the portal going from the Mirkwood to the dungeon, there was a chaos to everything. The only person that this resonates with is Tina Smoothhands. This reminds you of the dream you had. The great shadowy nothingness floating in this void. Tina, you start remembering the picture of Sithis as he bore down on you in front of you just before you ended your vision, seeing the face of your friend and ally Rial Othravon instead of his. The eeriness sets upon your shoulders and body. What do you do?
Oh no, you're muted!
Oop. Oh, but she wasn't.
This place is familiar to me as the place in the dream.
This place feels, if you'll recall, it was almost an absence of anything. And other than these dots and whatever ground Brunor has put her feet upon, this feeling, that floating in this endless nothingness, no sound, no air. It's, other than obviously the piano playing, that's a new element. But this place feels like the place in your dream.
Well, then I know it to be unsafe, and I know it to be dangerous. I turn to Rial and I say, do you recognize this place? This place, Sithis must be here.
I don't recognize this place. I don't.
Turn around.
What?
We should take caution. I am uncomfortable and I am afraid, but I know that I must go for Divot. I go after him. I move forward.
All right, so you see Divot kind of swimming off to the side here. And you start kind of do the same thing. It's not so much as you're moving, but your will is pushing you through these strange bubbles, and you feel your body contorting as you move through this murky darkness. Again, far off in your vision, just beyond you see the pale light of Divot blocking these 5 dots as they get closer and closer to their shadow portal. And once more, you see a great flash of light, and just the silhouette of Divot, as this bright flash in front of him. And both the shadow and the dots are once more gone. You're floating in the void.
We have to stop them from disappearing.
What?
So I start walking after as well, going, hold on a second. What? David, what are you talking about? Is everybody okay?
What?
Oh, don't you see? You have to stop the lights from disappearing.
How do you do
What do
that?
you mean? Divot.
I don't know how to explain it to you.
Let's just keep walking towards the lights then and see what happens when we get there. What else is there to do?
Yeah,
As you
let's
say
go.
that, another 5 dots appear in the opposite direction. If it was left, now it is right. Again, far off, so far on the horizon that they appear just as small dots. And then as they grow larger and more intense, you can make out the outlines. A wizard's robe, a bow, an axe. You see these adventurers as they walk once more toward this shadowy presence. Not really a portal, poorly described, but just a big billowing black and purple shadow cloud. And then as you start moving toward them again, they flash out. And then once more behind you, you see the 5 dots. They just seem to be dancing around your horizon.
Am I the only person that can count?
Count what?
The dots are us. The light.
Is that what you're
Obviously.
saying?
are
Yeah.
us.
There's 5 and 5. It makes sense.
Let's go.
You hear
I'm
a whisper.
Not a scientist, but
You hear a whisper.
Keep disappearing. There's 5 of them. There's 5 of us. That
Okay.
doesn't seem like a good thing.
so we go for the dots, or we?
What do you I mean, there's nothing else going for us in this nothingness place.
I guess we can see those, and so sure.
Did any of
Yeah.
you guys hear a whisper of anything?
Oh,
I just
I
hear
pull out
creepy piano.
those cigars tobacco that I had from what's her name?
Yes.
So I rolled those up and I pass them out, and I'm like, if we light these, then we'll be able to see each other in the darkness.
So yes,
Oh.
as
Okay.
you feel the
Plus, I need to take the edge off.
handing them
Okay.
out.
That would be nice.
You see Rial providing a little bit of fire with a quick gesture of his fingers, and he lights your collective
God.
smokes.
I caught it.
That was a real life dexterity saving throw, and Drew passed it marvelously.
That's amazing.
So yes,
Even
now
with all
just to
this
kind of add
darkness.
to the eeriness, if you will, please paint this picture with me. The shadowy outlines of your friends after the flash of the lighter goes away, and you see these small red dots. And as each of you draws upon these cigars that Divot has provided you, the red light illuminates your face briefly. You look around the circle. 5 dots. Look at the light in your hand. And once more on the horizon. 5 dots. Marching toward this shadowy end.
So the light came from our own hands? Is that what you said?
No, it's the light from your cigars that's illuminating each of you. But as you sit in this darkness and there's really nothing else in contrast, you just see the sharp red ash of each of your collective cigars. And then you once more see on the horizon the dots.
I'm like, you guys get it, man?
Do you get it, man? No, man.
You hear a
Come on, man.
slight
man.
whisper. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah.
The Shakinda. Can you hear me? Hear me? You hear it echoing around you.
What is that?
The Shakinda.
The Shakinda.
I don't know what that is.
Can I Arcana check to see if I know what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I would say Rial as well,
Yeah,
as far
can I
as
do
your
that too?
trained knowledge goes. Tina, you can make a religion check. You're all kind of
Yeah.
searching your knowledge banks right now. Rial spent much of his time in the Cloister of Trees, so he's very knowledgeable about book knowledge. Tina has more of a streetwise, religious aspect to her knowledge, and Divot's knowledge of magical energies in the arcana. So you're all kind of digging through your collective memory. Shakinda, does that name ring any bells? Divot, you have heard the word Shakinda once before. And it was in a song that you heard at a bar on the far western side of the country. It was just after Pivot had let you off and told you to flee to the eastern continent. And you stopped in a bar, and there was this an old version of the Gnomish language, much akin to like a Latin to Spanish in effect. An old dialect. A song sung by this gnome bard who intrigued you so much, on the borderlands of the Stone Rock Mountains where you grew up. And
Long
so
ago.
that's all you can remember, though. The song seemed to be naming great warriors. And it was like many fables that you would hear at a bar along the road, telling great tales, tales that you yourself would hope to go on and be in of your own. And so you have heard the word Shakinda. However, you don't necessarily know anything about it, but you have heard that word before. Tina, you as well. So the Shakinda in your training is actually a spiritual branch of religion. And the only thing you know about the Shakinda was there was a group of priests called the Shakinda, and they used to perform these rituals in a great circle. And so you know that in their dialect, the word Shakinda actually means circle.
Huh. So I recognize this word when I hear it.
Yes. I mean, again, like what that word, what that would mean. And there is a language where, it's not pronounced quite the same way. It's like Shakinda, but it is a word you're familiar with. It does reference some kind of spiritual priesthood, and it refers to a circle of some kind, as best you know, with your 17.
Okay, yeah.
Rial, you don't. Unfortunately, Rial,
Damn.
you draw upon your banks, and your 7 on your Arcana check was not good enough. to
Nothing
give
yet.
you any hints.
Well, in this moment, I'd like to, if I can, I know that the blessing of the Raka is not permanent and is not going to stay with me, and I've heard of Shakinda before, at least in some form, and perhaps this is an opportunity to gain some sort of magics that I can continue on with. I don't know. Can I speak to this whisper?
Yes.
That's a good question.
You once more hear the whisper upon the wind. Shakinda, can you hear me? Hear me? Hear me? And
I hear you.
You speak out. Yes, yes, yes. The message, the message, the message. Suddenly, far off in front of you, like at the end of your possible vision, you see a small purple dot. You know, if you were on a standard plane, it would be miles away from you. But it's so dark and so devoid of anything that you see this purple dot pulsing. And it sounds like the piano is coming from that dot.
All right, who's gonna touch the dot?
Can I move towards it?
That's probably a big glowing butthole.
Yeah. I move towards it.
All right, Tina, so you lead the way as you start moving forward. Brunor, you feel your feet start dragging on the ground to keep you in perfect distance from where Tina is. Divot, while you're floating, you know, toward where that shadow disappeared, suddenly you feel this tug, almost like something grabs your belt loop and pulls you back. You're all set once more into this, all of you, as you float around respectively, are drugged back into this strange formation.
It looks like the star of the tome that we were sucked into. Maybe it's just me.
Tome life, baby.
So yes, especially looking from above, you know, we the players get that benefit. Unfortunately, you know, you guys are just kind of floating in this void. But yes, the star, you know, the symbol of light that opened the tome, that brought you here. You for some reason, as each of you, you know, collectively tries your own thing, it keeps pulling you back. But Tina, you do feel like you're making a way. You're moving forward, and you're almost pulling everybody along with you. You know, Brunor, if you are so inclined, you can just lift your feet up, and it'll literally just kind of like tug you along. But if you like hearing your feet on the ground, you know, that's tight too.
I'll just pick those little tootsies up.
All right, so you guys hear as Brunor's, you know, metal boots stop dragging on this, whatever this floor is, and you all begin pulling toward this great purple dot on the horizon. As you move, each of you feel a call in a different direction. You start looking off on your own respective horizons, and each of you sees your own 5 dots. But for each of you, a different dot is the one that becomes brighter this time, as opposed to all of the other ones. And you see as the 4 dots stay at their small size and brightness, each of your own independent dot grows greatly in size, and you're actually looking at a light duplication of your exact outline. Walking. Tina, before yours, you see Shren Oldbuck standing. Corncob pipe in his mouth, pirate cap, blackened teeth, beckoning you toward him. Brunor, you look on and see the great shadow dragon Exonius flying in a cloud of shadows. Thoricus, you see the kingdom of Kulmara, your hometown, crumbling and falling into dust as this great shadow portal swells as your dot, your outline, approaches. Rial, Urgon, smiling at you, beckoning you once more into your old prison cell where he held you captive for 7 years. You see yourself floating amidst this void of shadow. Divot, you do not see a shadow. Your dot continues marching forward in the horizon until you see a great shadow start flowing from within it. And you see as your white light outline walks amidst a great cloud of shadow, seemingly controlling it. All of you see your dots go into the shadow, and it flashes away once more. You know, you kind of hear each other shake out of it. What do?
All right, you guys, this is showing me some really fucked up shit right now.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But is everybody okay?
I'm solid.
I think this is something we have to deal with.
Do we each got to
not
go in our
talking
own
at all.
direction? But we don't want to not do this together. But it seems like if we don't follow our own light, then we keep coming back to the same place, right?
The purple light is getting closer. I just wanted to make that clear if I hadn't.
Okay.
To all of us.
Yes, like the group is, I mean, like I said, it feels like it's still miles away, but you can, like, these things kind of follow around you. You kind of are just floating through this, ether. But the purple dot, as you do move forward, does seem to be at some point coming closer to you. The music growing louder.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
That music, though, starting to drive you a little crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
is that what it is?
So nice of you to
Is that what it is?
We're all having fun, right, guys? Right?
Having so much fun playing D&D.
This is I brought you guys here to do this.
I love it. Okay, so we're still going towards this purple thing.
I am.
Okay.
Tina leading the way, pulling you guys along.
Yeah. We seemingly are attached somehow. No
Yes.
matter where she goes, we seem to follow after.
Okay.
I'm forging forward, no matter what.
Fucking, alright.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Thanks, Daddy.
Shakinda. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I can hear it too.
I can also hear you.
Good. The connection is complete.
Well,
The what is complete?
The connection. What?
Connection.
Come. You hear the piano grow a little louder. To me.
All right. I step forward all the way.
Suddenly, the purple dot on the horizon, still seemingly like a mile away.
Yeah.
You see it draw forward to you. And before you stretches almost as if something was grabbing fabric and ripping it apart. Before you, you see the shining purple church. Brilliant, beautiful ivory stonework. Perfect purple coloring on the roof. This is an immaculate temple. And as you look at it and you speculate on the many, beautiful crevices and the craftsmanship involved, you watch as the color starts to bleed out of it. You see the purple fade to an off-black purpley mix. You see the ivory turn to a gray cobblestone. The great roof itself collapses with a giant hole. You see the church warped where you're looking down from above it. And suddenly, you fall. Whoa! Everybody make dexterity saving throws.
Oh, shit! Are you kidding?
My least favorite.
I am not good at that.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
what?
Uh-oh.
All right. You feel yourself falling, but not at the same speed as if you were in a direct free fall. But certainly as you drop from what would be about 40 feet in the air, you feel yourself falling into this darkened, broken castle. And as you fall in, you feel like you're once again washed in by this watery feeling, as if you're almost floating. But instead of water, it is terror. You feel like you're floating in your own fear. You look down, and for a moment you see a spider crawl over the backside of your arm, and you shake it off. And you look around, and suddenly it's, Brunor, you feel that claustrophobia. It's like you're being buried in sand. It's just this fear that, with in conjunction with this twisted piano music, starts burying into your minds. First off, yeah, go ahead. Let me do the damage real quick. So anybody who passed, you take 2 bludgeoning damage, and anybody who failed, you take 4 bludgeoning damage as you fall through and land. Let me bring you guys over where I'm at.
What was the threshold again?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, DC 12.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeesh.
So yeah, Rial, you got a 5. Divot, you got a 10. So both of you guys failed. Brunor with a 13. Thoricus with a 13. Am I
That's
missing
just
something?
2.
Oh, Tina got one. Tina has a dex in there, the 7. So yeah, Tina, Rial, and Divot, you guys take 4. Brunor and Thoricus, because you passed, you take half damage. You take 2 bludgeoning damage as you fall onto these dark cobblestone floors of. Let me bring you over. Oh, I already did. Welcome.
I was gonna say, do we still have the temporary hit points from
Yes.
when Gus gave them to him? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So and again, the way temporary hit points work, they will reduce from that pool first, and then once that pool is empty, they will start affecting your normal hit points. So yeah, even that mantle of inspiration came through handy as you guys fell. Now.
Fuck yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we landed?
Yeah.
So you collectively all land on the ground. Thoricus, your shoulder lands on the side of this pew, church pew. Yeah, pew, 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 pew. And you kind of break it down. You all land with a great thud, and this cloud of dust just blows out from you. You hear the chattering, and as you look in the shadows around you, the softly lit inside of this church, you see great, massive, shadowy spiders crawling up these webs in all the corners.
Oh my goodness.
While you guys take this in, again, that wave of all of your individual fears washing over you, Divot, that feeling of being alone and never connecting with your family just starts building in your stomach and growing and taking you over. Rial, you feel that laughter of Ergon as he would inflict these spell magics on your body. You start remembering that sensation. I need all of you guys to make DC 12 wisdom saving throws.
Damn it! That's my least favorite.
So, this could be fun.
Uh-oh.
So,
Went too far. Sorry. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh my god.
Oh no.
No, no.
well, this is gonna be fun. All right. I mean, for me, it should be terrifying for you guys, but I'm gonna have a blast. Isaac is like just jumping up and down over there. All right.
Oh god.
Great.
So for those of you who failed, so as you take in the torment of this place, you feel an actual loss, for those of you who failed, of your sanity. You feel your mind slipping away as the dot did into the shadow on the horizon. So those of you who failed
That's it?
will roll me, each of you will roll 1d100.
Oh.
What was the threshold for that?
12.
Oh, I'm chilling.
Whoa, with the 100? Oh, that's a crit hit. I don't care. That's 100. 100. Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad. We're about to find out.
What the?
Welcome to the Sanity Madness table. It's pretty fun. Again, for me. So, I'm going to go one at a time here. And I roll a d10 to determine how many minutes this lasts for. So just so you know, the following effects will last for the next 5 minutes. Divot, or nope, let's see here. Thoricus with the 21. That's you, correct?
Hell yeah.
All right,
Let's get
Thoricus.
fucking Dumb.
Hell yeah.
Thoricus, for the next 5 minutes, you are incapacitated and you spend the duration screaming, laughing, or weeping. I'm going to go ahead and make that your choice.
Okay.
All right. Divot, with your 44. You begin babbling, and you're incapable of normal speech or spellcasting. All right. Real Othravon, with your 100. You fall unconscious. You guys see his Real's body. He's looking around so scared. His eyes grow wide. And he just faints. And falls down on the ground.
Like the Victorian princess that you are.
He's a dainty lad.
You are.
All right. And Brunor, you... What do you got at 83? Brunor, you are stunned. You see Real fall, and it's like, whoa, like, yes.
Yes.
So for 5 minutes, you're stunned. Tina, you're laying on a purple, ripped, torn rug, even though the color of your own skin seems an off-hewn grayscale. And suddenly, you start hearing these terrible sounds from behind you. First, the collapse of Real's body as he falls. You briefly look over your shoulder and you see him land right on this pew here. He's completely out. You see as you turn your head and look the other way, Brunor freezes, literally stunned at the sight of Real. You look over to Divot. You see him, yes, babbling, not able to use normal language to you, as Thoricus Onyxheart begins laughing like a madman. You hear the piano. You turn your back and you look forward. And you see sitting at the end of this church in a great circular column is this grand old church piano. And it's all broken. Many keys are missing. And sitting in a chair hunched over this piano is this red-robed figure. Bright, vibrant red robes that cut through the colorless void that seems this strange place. And they are bright crimson red. You see he has almost like a pope hat, like a big red angled saint cap that sits on his forehead. And you just see his shoulders and arms raising as he slams his fingers on the keys. You hear the of spiders, the laughter of Thoricus, the babbling of Divot. Tina, what do you do?
I stepped forward to him.
Shakinda. As you step forward, you have made it. You have made it. I called for you through the great darkness.
I'm here. What do you have to tell me?
You seem empty, child. That wind does not suit you. I have called you here to tell you the truth of your prophecy. You see, he raises his hand off the keys. The music stops for a moment. And you see in his hand forms that tome. You see the 5 lines across the star on the front, and it opens, and you recoil for a moment, remembering being sucked into it last time. You look forward, and he brings the book down in front of the piano as if it were sheet music, and he continues playing. The Shakinda prophecy. Their oath shall drive them, and yet betray them, and ever snatch away the very treasures that they have sworn to pursue. To evil end shall all things turn, that they begin well. And by treason of kin unto kin, and the fear of treason, shall this come to pass. The dispossessed shall they be forever. You see, as he spoke to you, it seems like he materialized more and more in front of you as his voice came more and more clear. Shh. You feel now as if he's speaking to you with his own throat.
What am I to take that to mean?
You see, he raises his head up. Tears unnumbered ye shall shed, and the Fae shall fence Everindel against you and shut you out, so that not even the echo of your lamentation shall pass over the mountains. Through the house of Othravon shall the wrath of Sithasis be lain from the west unto the uttermost east, and upon all that will follow them shall be laid also. He continues playing.
Why did you call me here to tell me this? It doesn't have to be like that. I can seek the good.
I'm trying to save you.
Then show me how.
You see, he plays a few notes on the keys. It is in the bond of the five that the price which shall never be paid may take root, and so the cycle shall complete itself once more. Ad infinitum. You see the book closes and disappears. He continues playing. You hear the spiders chittering, the laughter of Thoricus, the babbles of Divot, the silence of Rial and Brunor. You are empty. You must be full once more. Sithasis has cheated. He has tried to move forward the events of the Shekinda prophecy. The Shadowkai and I, their prophet, wish not for you to be ill-equipped for this battle.
Yes, please. I wish to harness the power, every power that you can give me in this moment.
Child, I have no power to give you. It is your life I feed upon even now. The grip of my domain drinks of your essence. For you are in the Shadowfell. You feel those words echo. Tina, you're probably the only one that have heard of the Shadowfell. In the Great Planar realms, there are two offsetting planes that shoot off of the prime material plane that you live on. The Feywild, the land of fanciful spirits and fairy magic, and the Shadowfell, the plane of shadow and darkness. He seems to be claiming that you have left your plane of existence and are now on the Shadowfell.
That's insane. How could that be?
We have arrived. Our seed begins to spread. But the Shadowkai are not your enemies. We simply need your life to live.
Yeah. I wish to live. I wish that to be my calling, my my existence, my domain.
As you say those words, suddenly in between you and he, as he hobbles over this key, a small seed appears. It's got a golden, warm energy. You look at it and it starts spinning. And then the seed begins to sprout. You see the green shoot of the stem of a flower rise out of the seed before you. And as it reaches its bloom, a great red rose forms. She calls to you, child. Can you hear her? You hear a woman's voice in the back of your mind. I am here for you, Tina. We shall bring the new spring beyond the dark dawn. It's a new voice.
I welcome this new energy.
You reach your hand forward, and as your fingertips, caress the stem of the rose, a great surge of energy flows into you. The pianos stop. You feel this great, cooling, calm light, the same kind of energy that you've used to heal so many times before, begin flowing into your person. Your eyes close, and you see a great golden sunrise appear before you. And on the horizon, suddenly huge stalks of wheat begin flowing up and growing into the sky. And behind them, great forests of these red flowers. You see standing in the back of these flowers and all of this wheat, a very beautiful woman, thick in frame with tan skin and flowing green and gold tapestries that float over her body. She seems like a painting in the sky. You feel that warm energy wash over you. You are once more filled with your divine energy. You feel the call of a new goddess. Would you care to know her name?
Yes, please.
You hear the voice of Shantia, goddess of light and
Shantia.
agriculture. I am now one with you, child. Use my magics to end the cycle. And you feel the presence disappear. A new energy fills you. As Tina, you now connect, no longer with the trickery domain, but shall now forge forward, carrying the light of a life cleric. You see a great swell of light, wind, and energy goes into you, and you hear the call of a new tomorrow. And with that, we'll pick up after intermission. All right. Ooh, everybody going crazy. Tina got a new domain. It hasn't been 5 minutes in game. All right, guys. Thank you so much for that. That was just, that was a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get back to this. Please join us at the end of our little 10-minute intermission. We are going to definitely use the restroom, take a little short rest, use some hit dice, and then we're going to come back and bring you the second half of this dark and scary saga. Ooh. Ooh. right, welcome back, guys. Whew, what an intense episode. Seriously, I had the jeebies when I went out there. The jeebies, I say. I can't wait to get back into it, so I say we jump right back in. Jake? Thank you. All right, so you guys are still inside of this church in the plain known as the Shadowfell. Tina, you stand with your hand forward, holding on to a great rose that seems to materialize in a great blinding flash of light. That light, Thoricus, as you laugh, your head turns, and the flash of light reveals right here is a window. And for some reason, you feel the urge to head that way. You start kind of stumbling across the purple carpet on the ground, through the alley of the pews here. You even pass directly right next to the web of one of these giant spiders. You hear it, you laugh at the absurdity of it, and you proceed to walk forward and look through this mirror. Over here to the right, let me reveal it for you. You see a statue of a dwarf wielding a large axe. And as you squint through the panes of the window and the laughter finally fades from your mind, as the insanity from this plane of terror washes away from you, your eyes come into focus and you start hearing the music once more. You're standing in front of a mirror. It's very dusty and old. You have to wipe off the dust to see through it, but something is beckoning you from the other side. That statue. It looks identical to you. You see the axe held in the hand, and your eyes trail down the heft all the way down to where the blade lies. The etchings of the bird on the blade of Lucille the Fury are present. This is a statue of you.
That's weird.
Divot. You see this blinding flash suddenly draw you out of your babbling. You look down at your hands. You feel like you've been possessed by some kind of creepy spirit within you. You still feel the terror, raising the hair on your arms and on your neck. Suddenly, you feel a compulsion to turn to your right. And once I select the proper tool, nope. Da-da-da-da, here we go. You see shining in the side of the church on one of the dark cobblestone walls, a great red skull materialize. No lower jawbone, just the floating upper half of a skull with dark, hallowed eyes that seem to go on for an eternity. You look in them and the walls beyond them disappear, and you swear for a moment you see stars in the back of his eyes.
I walk towards it.
You slowly step forward.
Yes. Yes, Divot. You know me. You know who I am. Tell me. What would you be?
He looks at you.
Powerful enough to be remembered. Powerful enough to save my friends.
Your friends are doomed. The world is doomed. A great sea of death lies before you. Would you flow with the wave, or be beaten against the rocks by it?
I don't fear death.
You do not fear me.
Divot, you're keenly suddenly aware. You are looking into the eyes of death.
No. I feel like I understand you.
That was your first test, boy. There will be others. The sacrifice must be made. The prophecy must see its end. Synthesis will not get away with this, and we shall write the Shekinda prophecy. You see the skull disappears. You hear the piano. Bruno and Rial, suddenly you come to, you have your faculties about you once more. Rial, you're leaning over on one of the church pews that you've managed to pass out on. Bruno, you're here in the back. You guys, look up and you see kind of this strange sight before you as your wits come to. Again, the chittering spiders and their great webs in the corner. Standing near one of them, Thoricus, gazing out of a window. Divot, seemingly talking to a wall. Tina reached out, holding a great flower, seemingly frozen in this moment. What do you do?
I look over at Rial. Are you okay? You, hit the ground pretty hard.
Again.
I think I'm all right. The fear was too great, and that's all I remember. And now we're here. What is going on?
I want to use. Can I use animal handling to talk to the spiders?
You absolutely can, yes.
Yeah, I just want to be where are we at? What's going on, Speed Rays?
Which spiders do you want to talk to? So there's some baby spiders in the corner on the left, and then you see the two biggest spiders seem to be on either of the corners here and there, and then you have the spider that's nearest Thoricus. Is a good, it's like a mid-sized sedan spider. It's got 4 doors. But yeah.
I'll talk to the one that's nearest me, the big one, big daddy in this back corner.
All right, so you kind of walk down this pathway toward the pew, and you kind of wise enough to stop before you step into the webbing itself. You look, and it seems like the webs themselves are growing out like veins, rather than being laid out. With your 17, you begin, making the gestures that you use to speak to sea creatures primarily. If you'll recall, your ability to actually communicate is with sea creatures. And so you're trying your symbols and your hand gestures that would normally work. And then you hear, "I can speak your language, idiot." The little spider twitches and looks at you. "What do you want?"
My bad. It's my bad, Speed Ray. Speed Ray.
You smell of life.
Where are we right now, Speed Ray?
You are in the Shadowfell, child.
Okay.
I can taste your life. My webs desire your flesh.
No, thank you, but I appreciate your enthusiasm and the information that you just gave me. And I turn around and start to walk away.
But thank you. You're still polite.
Yeah.
So Bruno, you have this knowledge from the spiders. Did you return back to next to Rial?
I said good day.
Now, am I locked in my moment still?
Right now, yes, but you're now starting. You're having this vision. You're still in the land of the golden sunrise with the wheat and the flour and this new divine goddess bestowing her light on you, and you're kind of just feeling that new energy out. A new type of magic is a strange thing indeed, and so you're learning. What would take you normally years of study through leaders, as you learned through Tharizdun in your trickery trade. This is all it's just happening within you in the moment, and you're attuning to this new flow and this call of life. But you do now start hearing the voices kind of beckoning you back. The slow piano melody builds, and suddenly, the sunrise begins to fade. The wheat draws back down. The last thing you see is the smiling face of Shantia as she dissipates, and you refocus your eyes, looking at the back of the man playing on the piano still. So, Bruno and Rial, what are you guys doing?
I want to walk up to... Well, actually, what do you want to do, Rial? I did some stuff first.
I was indeed curious if we could also see the spooky pianist NPC.
Yes, you do. You see this, the great red robes and the, with golden accents that kind of, again, shine against, everything else here has this grayscale tone, like a sweet Instagram filter, and yet he sticks out in his color, even your own, colors, even the flowing tapestry of Ildessa that Divot wears around his shoulders.
So
even that is like
right
Ildessa is so hot right now.
So.
But even like you could see on the rug on the ground, like the purple is faded and it looks like an antique. But his robes, however, are completely vibrant, and yes, they strike you.
Let's approach him. Let's go say hi.
But first, did the spiders tell you anything?
Oh yeah, we're in the Shadowfell.
Shadowfell. All right.
So,
You wanna go talk to this guy?
yes, and the spider said that like her webs will eat us or something. So just kind of be wary of the speed rays. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Speed ray? Right.
Speed rays.
Speed ray.
It's
They don't
speed-
have spiders where she's from.
But let us go see this pianist.
Yes.
So yeah, you see on the other side of Tina standing out with her flower, is still the feeling of dread is just all around you. It's almost as if it's an element of the air itself. You breathe it and you taste fear in your lungs. And it's just, the shadows fall just right on the edges of the spiders in the darkness. And you always feel like something's just behind you. It's just such an unsettling and unnerving place to be. You see the great looming red figure playing on the piano. What do you do?
Hey,
His head raises.
Who are you?
How big is the pianist?
It's a pretty big pianist.
A long pianist or a stout pianist?
He's a girthy pianist. I would say, he takes up the full heft of the chair that he sits upon. So very girthy pianist.
Demeanor of the pianist.
Now is that girthy pianist smashing that
So
organ?
sorry.
Actually, it's a nice finesse. You would see that the pianist is somewhat slamming on the keys, however. Yes, there's like a flaccidity to his strokes upon the keys.
Gotcha.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for taking the time to describe that a little bit in more detail.
Yes.
Cool. That's
Yes.
good to know.
Can I ask the pianist a question?
Yes, the massive, one might even say engorged, red pianist that sits on the stool before this broken piano.
Oh.
You see his head
The
is
stool?
up. He can hear you.
Who are you, and why are we here in the Shadowfell?
I am Amun Shah, prophet of the Shadar-kai people. I have brought you here to tell you the prophecy of the Shekinda. Synthesis intends to kill you before you fully evolved, to jump ahead in the story. I, and the forces I align with, will not allow that to happen.
And what forces are you aligned with?
I serve the Shadar-kai. I am a leader of sorts. In the plane of the lost, there is very little here but sad memories and a hunger for your life. I fight it now, though I can taste it on my lips.
Nah. We'll keep that as a boundary that won't happen. But I appreciate you
We each take a
communicating
step
that to
back.
me. Yeah, thank you for that.
Also-
What do you know about synthesis?
Yeah.
Synthesis
You gotta.
lies at the end of the circle, and by so doing, rises at its beginning. He has cheated fate, attempted to rush along the prophecy, and by doing so, he risks destroying us all. Always 5 there are. Always 5. He stops playing.
I'm ready to do what needs to be done, but I don't know what to do.
Also, how long have you been taking piano lessons?
Piano lessons are very sad in the Shadowfell.
Not a lot of tuners around either.
No. If you, really look at this piano. It's terrible. It's broken. If you think about it, I'm actually doing a really good job. Whatever.
I concede.
Whatever, dwarf.
So slowly like slide up to him because I want to like start playing with him.
All right, so you're kind of the farthest
him.
away, Divot. You're still kind of back here in this corner, so you just want to kind of start moving over toward him.
Yes, but not in an aggressive way.
Right. So, you kind of, the same way Thoricus, the path here around this web, but without touching it. You look down near your feet and you notice the same thing. These spreading webs, they seem to have a life of their own, like those mushrooms that grow in dark caves. You see the veins just like spilling out and the web is continuing to grow. The piano music still bouncing in your mind. You look over and you see that although he's moving his hands, he's not actually touching any keys.
That's weird.
Oh.
And so you kind of stand here, in between Thoricus and Tinna. And Tinna, as Divot approaches, you swear you can feel him moving from the back corner. And it's only when he comes around the pew that you finally look to your side. And you were right. You could feel his presence. And as he moves closer to you, you feel like they're like two bubbles pressing against each other. You just feel this soft energy between the two of you, some repelling force. The Shadowfell speaks up. I cannot stay here for long. It has cost me much to reach you. You are not safe in the Shadowfell. Not all of my people see you as the way you are, but merely what you always have become.
What is that?
The instrument of our destruction.
How can we make the... Do you know anything about the sun? About how to fix the sun? Because the sun is frozen in the sky.
Yes. You hear it echo around you. Again, you're starting to get those heebie feelings. You can tell that the longer you're here, that this continuing madness will kind of start building up on you guys. So, it's just, you can feel it. It's still, even though you pushed it away, it's fighting back to get in you. He says, yes. Synthesis has broken the realms through Achaeus' great magic and the fusion of Divot's mushroom. A tear was created. The Feyfall is imminent, though not supposed to happen for nearly 100 years.
Well...
So how come when I look in this mirror I see a statue of myself? What's that all about?
You should see the statue, Onyx Heart. It is you as you have been so many times before, and are doomed to be again.
What?
Go. Look. You see, waves his hand, and a small whisk of wind wraps around you, Thoricus. You all see this. Thoricus, you disappear and appear in front of the statue. You look up.
Jesus.
You're wearing a helmet you've never seen before, much similar to the Draken Force, if you'll recall your first meeting with them. Large draconic helmet that sits upon your head, resembling the face of the shadow dragon that you saw in the Mirkwood as well. This great dragon shadow helm falls upon your beard as you've seen it, and face as you know, as if looking in a mirror. You continue following down, and you're wearing this dark suit of armor, fitted, a great suit of armor, a majestic plate mail with spikes, and the whole tone of you is very dark. Even the eyes themselves bleed black tears of ash. And as you see one of the ashen tears fall, it lands on a plaque at the base of the statue. And the plaque reads, Thoricus, the Blightbringer.
Whoa.
You look up, and you see for miles, like as far as your eyes can see beyond the statue, is just miles and miles of gravestones. You're looking on a sea of gravestones. They seem to move as the waters of an ocean would, and you feel that shadowy darkness enter your mind. You start to turn around, and you see at the end of your vision, on the front of this church, you actually see the normal light of day. Almost as if there's like a film splitting you and outside of this church. And you see a normal green grass road with green trees and a dirt trail similar to the one that you've traveled thus far. And you kind of like, for a second you look and you're like, start moving toward it, and then the wind wisps around you once more, and you are returned to the inside of the church. Blightbringer. That is what they shall call you.
No.
He repeats a line from the Shekinda prophecy once more. It is the bond of the five, that the price which shall never be paid may take root, and so the cycle shall complete itself once more. Ad infinitum.
So
I'm
until
still babbling like an idiot. Right? So I'm like,
No, you've come to your ability to speak.
Okay.
Since you came forward has you kind of shook yourself out with your conversation with that mask of death.
Cool.
So yeah, that's you guys are kind of sitting there. That's where he's at. He's still playing his creepy piano song. There's still spiders all around you. You guys haven't seen the statue outside. Only Thoricus has. But yeah, all the other windows are all kind of fogged up and have webs and stuff on them. So, but yeah, you see the Shadow Kai. He has mentioned that he does not have long here, and he continues to play. He still hasn't turned to you guys at all either. You've really only seen the back of him.
Can I step forward?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Again, you feel that strange pushing force. Like I said, like as if you were both inside of a bubble and they were pushing against each other. You feel a strange repulsion from your brother, unlike any you have felt to this point before. Not a hatred, not like what Tharizdun was trying to inflict on you, but indeed a strange force exists between the two of you at this moment.
I move to the pianist.
All right, you approach the pianist. He sits erect.
God.
It was there. I had to take it, right? I'm sorry. It's the weed. I'm just sorry. It's the damn weed. All right, so Tina, you are sitting in front of a fully erect pianist.
No. I fear I know the answer, but how can I break this cycle?
you have to kill.
You must play your part. You must do that which you think impossible. But I cannot tell you. For Sithis' crime is acting against the Shekinda. and I will not commit the same crime.
It's fair.
I say, if I needed to see a man about a horse, how would I do that?
We are still in your realm. The Shadowfell has seeded in your own land. You may leave this church and go back. But to remain here too much longer would be folly. You see his image starts kind of fading in and out. I am called back to the city of Ash. We shall meet again.
Wait,
And in a great plume of ash,
come on.
he disappears.
Come on, man.
The piano continues to
man.
play.
Oh.
And now all you hear is the chittering and the of the growing web around you.
Let's get out of here.
I wanted to ask him where Fish was.
Well, he's gone.
Fuck. Sorry for the language. I'm upset.
Thorcus from behind you, you hear. You want to know what this is? Huh?
Yes.
You want to
Oh.
know? I know what this is. But I'm so hungry. Let me drink of you, dwarf. Let me drink of you, and I shall tell you that what you seek.
Don't. Let's go.
You see the webs, Thorcus, near your feet, growing out toward you, as the chittering face of the spider next to you beckons.
Drew. Or the Thorcus.
Yes, Abby.
I'm high, I'm sorry.
You know she's serious.
Yeah. Beast.
This is the effect
the
of the
fuck up.
Shadowfell.
Just no, we're good. We'll figure it out on our own. We're the 5, okay?
I can tell you. So thirsty.
I can tell you to back the fuck off.
So thirsty. So thirsty. You see he starts crawling his 8 legs down the web toward you.
Get.
I point at him and go, no!
Does anyone have a newspaper?
Give me an intimidation check there, Gus.
Alright.
Bang, bang, baby. Get it, baby.
That'll
All
work.
right,
Oh yeah, that'll do it. So you call out. When Divot shouts, you all hear a sound you've never heard before. He goes, no! And then suddenly at the end, he goes, no! And you feel this great booming, deep sound come out of his core. And the spider scuttles back up the wall to the corner of his web.
Okay, what was that about?
Thanks, buddy.
I just gonna leave the church.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
so
go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Brunor, as you turn to go, you hear, oh no, girl. No. You see the spider on the far back corner near the door starts climbing along the wall. You see all 8 legs delicately stepping as it moves across the dark gray cobblestone walls. No, girl. No, just a sip. Just a tasty sip. You hear from back behind you and over to your left shoulder, oh yeah, a real nice sip. That's all we want. And you see the biggest spider in this top left corner starts crawling over toward you, Tina. Let me just have a sip. You see the webs.
I prestidigitate a big rat, a huge fucking rat, to run over there, like in between everybody.
I'm sorry, what do you do?
I want to prestidigitate a big fucking rat.
Yeah.
All right, where do you want that rat at?
I'd like it to like skitter out from under the piano and run like in between the spiders and them.
All right, so you throw a prestidigitation. Hit me, because I think there is actually an intelligence saving vault.
Hit me with your best shot.
Hit me with the spell real quick, Gus. Just so I can see.
Fire alert!
Show.
Sorry.
You get that?
Yeah,
Got
harmless
it.
puff of smoke. Okay, so making a rat wouldn't work. You can do stuff though. A shower of sparks, a puff of wind, music note, or something like that. And then, the instantaneously clean, nothing. Yeah. So no, it doesn't look like it has a
right.
saving throw. Now, like an illusion of sorts would be something like
Hey.
what Rial has done.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can I roll with that idea and minor illusion the same thing? And
Yeah.
gnarly ass rat?
Yes, absolutely. So you see what's going on. Like these spiders are getting a little riled up.
Okay.
And
I hate
Rial, you cast a illusionary rat over here in the corner. And so here we go. He does have a DC.
He's
What's your
gross.
spell
He's-
save DC?
Oh shit.
I think I might have put it on your character. Oh no, I didn't. I think it's shoot. Let me see here. Let me get over to this guy. How smart is a spider? Ooh, they are not the brightest.
I hate their voices, man. They're gross.
I was gonna say, I really don't like the deep voice cocky one.
Oh, so thirsty.
Ugh.
Dead.
I'm just gonna keep doing.
Spell save DC is 13.
13. All right, here we go. So this is the saving throw of the two spiders on the north side. An 8 and a 2, they both fail. So yes, you summon up an illusioner, almost as if you're planning to trick Brian or Brian the crocodile. You throw a tasty rat here, and Thoricus, you actually get an AOO as the spider that was moving up on you attempts to crawl beyond, like above this window and above you. You do in this moment notice, Thoricus, Lucille is not in your hands. Remember, you threw Lucille before you guys got sucked into the book. So you do not have Lucille in your hands right now. But you've got your hatchets and your other stuff. So do you want to take... Would you like an attack of opportunity?
I want to so badly, but will refrain from doing so. And
All right.
let's just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you see the spiders.
Yeah.
They both converge, all creepy like, and they kind of swarm the stool that the rat sits upon, and they start. Now that's gonna get them for this round, but they're gonna realize it's an illusion pretty quick. There still stands the two baby spiders in the corner. They seem too baby to fight you guys. You do hear them like chittering back and forth to each other, like, and they're just like this little chittering from the corner, but they don't seem to be interested in tangoing. However, the big thick lady on the south wall is trying to move toward the door. So we have initiated popcorn initiative at this point. So Rial, you're done casting your illusion. Who would you like? You still have the rest of your turn if you'd like to move and all that. This has become a bit of a combat encounter currently. Now that doesn't mean you guys have to fight. Your urge to run is totally fine. You can play that out. But I just, it's like, let's roll into the initiative mode of things now.
Cool. Can I cunning action to hide?
Yeah, because there's the pews, so you can,
Yeah.
you're pretty adept at dropping over into the corner. So yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
All right.
The wood of this pew, this old, what once was gloriously, perfectly carved pews, has now rotted, and there's like worm rot and old like knots have formed, and the edges of the boards are split. Everything in this place has a gloom to it.
Gross.
20 stealth. That's nice. With your plus 10 to that 10, gives you a 20. So yeah, 20 stealth, bro. You are. They do not
Gone,
see
baby,
you.
gone.
You kind of tuck behind one of these pews.
Dope. All right.
Hell.
So are we passing or popcorn?
This time we're going back to popcorn. So Rial, it's on you.
Okay. Brunor, what you got?
Okay, so is it possible for me to, I don't really have very good, to convince this spider to, instead of killing me, like maybe it like I use it as a mount. Like,
Oh.
I can convince it. Like,
Okay.
One of the baby spiders.
Gander.
The DC of this, as it is a hostile creature, so if you're treating it now, remember this thing has some semblance of intellect. It's able to talk to you, so it's not quite a mindless creature. And so yeah, you can attempt to do that. You knowing what you know, don't see it being super possible. You know,
Yeah,
it
I
seems
know.
like a hard go, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it's D&D, baby. Nothing's impossible if you roll hot enough. But just know the DC for something like that is very high. If you want to take a shot on it, I mean, that's what the dice are here for.
What I would like to do is kind of brandish Andorel and say to the spider, listen, Speedray, if you take 1 or 8 steps towards me, I will slash you real quick, like right quick, and I ready an attack.
All right, so you just kind of prepare if she comes at you to take a swing, yeah?
Yeah.
And you go, you are two-handed with Andurel right now? Or do you have the shield?
Yeah, I'm two-handed.
Okay.
'Cause
I
my
just
shield-
like to know these things. Oh,
Yeah.
so thirsty. Eat this mouse. Oh. All right. So Brunor, you set your shield, you know, over behind on your back, and you pull out Angelo with the 2 hands, preparing for an attack. You see the spider. All right, girl. All right. Chitters back in her own respect and kind of sets back on the wall as if like saying, "Hey, you come here." But yes, so your turn is over if you care to be done. And who do you want to pass to?
I want to pass it to Tina.
Tina, you hear the great chattering of these spiders behind you as they, you know, near the rat. They haven't quite gotten to it yet, but their 8 legs, you know, the front 2 are starting to delicately set on the stool as they raise their bodies up and intend to feed on this morsel that stands before them.
Ugh.
Yeah, I have no intention to fight these spiders. I want to get out of here
GTFO.
as fast as possible. So I run out.
All right, so Tina, you
Yeah.
should be able to move your token there. Every square is 5 feet, and if you use your move, that'll get you 5. That one actually isn't your. Ooh, he's large. One of them might get it. No,
Oh.
he failed his save, so he's actually actively looking at that rat, so he doesn't get an AOO on you. So yeah, you get to move 5 squares, and then if you want, you can use your actual action to move another 5. So you can use it's called a dash. You can use a dash action instead of your, you know, attack or cast a spell, or you can cast a spell or attack, or, you know, do whatever you want with a normal action.
Yeah, I'd like to use the first 5 and then dash. So I think I'd end up around there. I think.
Yes. So as you near this you know, what once was a great door to archway, you know, the keystone long since fallen down and just broken brick stands before you. You now see, as you look beyond, as the darkness of this church, you know, comes to its end, you see the same thing that Thorcus saw, as if there's, you know, about 15 feet in front of you, as if there were just a wall, like a film of black, and just on the other side is the world that you know. You, oh yes, girl, come on in. You hear the spider on the wall chitter. Who do you want to pass to?
Ooh. Passing it to Drew.
Thoricus Onyx Heart.
Thoricus, I'm so sorry.
I got you, girl.
It's fine.
Thoricus, you stand in the far corner. You see the 2 spiders, you know, the one that just went by on the window. Very large, you know, 6 feet long, these giant spiders with these long 2 and 3 foot legs that delicately, you know, press upon the cobblestones as they go by. The piano continues playing. You're fighting that fog of madness out of your mind. What do you do, Thoricus?
What are the chances that I could, a la, you know, God of War, hold out the, or I guess Thor, you know, with Mjolnir, summon the Fury, hold out the hand, connect to the Raka, and summon Lucille, the Fury, from wherever I dropped her to come to me? What are the chances of that?
Okay, so there's a D&D answer to that I'll give you. That is a thing. There's a class called an Eldritch Knight,
and they make a bond with their weapon, and they can summon it from all over the place. Unfortunately, that is not a power that you currently have access to. But
Son of a bitch.
upon trying to draw that energy of the rocket into you, you do keep feeling this pull at you through the window to the statue. You look back and you can see it. The gray statue of yourself, the Blightbringer.
Is the statue holding a weapon?
It is. It's holding a black iron version of Lucille the Fury. But it's all
Guys,
dark and shadowy.
Yeah, I don't want to be the Blightbringer.
No.
I want to be like the, bar champion or something.
The Lightbringer.
Oh yeah, just something like that would be nicer, I think. It's more up my alley. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, can I describe what I see of the statue to them? Like, it's.
So yeah,
me
we're in
full
combat
plate
terms
armor
right now. So you're at you've got like a 6-second window. I like to give upwards 10-15 seconds. But if you had a short message that you would like to use like your bonus action for, you absolutely can try to describe this.
Well, yeah, then I would use that to describe it. Be like, well, it's me, but it's in plate armor, and I got spikes, and there's a shadow dragon emblem, and remember the guys that we fought before, the Dragon Force? It's like I'm leading them. It's weird. I don't want that, but
Well, then leave it. Let's go.
yeah, I'll go with you guys. That's fine.
Yeah, you convinced me. All right.
Yeah, you're awesome. All right.
You're right, Bruno. You're always right.
You're always right. So
Except
let's
for
do that.
except for a
Except for
couple.
those times that you tried to kill us.
A couple notable times.
It's only like 3 times.
Listen,
That's-
nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Po Buddy's
Exactly.
perfect. That's right. All right. So yeah, that was like your bonus actions, or you still have an action and a move. You could do the double move if you want. The pews themselves are difficult terrain, so it's like you use 2 movements to go through them, or you can go around them. D&D 5e, a diagonal square is also 5, so there's no penalty for moving diagonally.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I guess. Oh, can I move this way and not go in the spider's web?
Yes. Yeah, you guys have been able to make that corner right there without triggering anything too crazy.
So I think that would be my normal move from where
Yep.
I was.
Yes.
I can make it there. Okay, and then I still have an action, so I can also dash
Yep. Which would be your
and
move there.
get
One more
to
time.
There,
Boom.
correct?
So yeah, you move yourself down kind of closer to the web of the other spider. Again, wise enough not to step in it, but you do see it continuing to creep out.
Right, now that corner, will I be able to creep around as well without getting in the web, or would I have to go?
I think you'd have to go over on that one. I'm going to use
Okay,
the
that's
actual
kinda
image
what I was
there.
thinking.
It looks pretty close. Yeah.
It's close. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, then I'm done.
All right. So who do you pass it to,
I'm-
Thorkus?
Let's see. Oh, let's give it to Deba. Deba!
Oh, Martha. Oh, Martha dear.
Oh, Martha dear.
Oh, Martha.
Hydration check for Martha.
Yeah,
Do it for Martha.
she'd do it for you.
Divot, you see what has transpired. An illusionary rat sits upon the stool. I don't know why I keep forgetting stool. It's a funny word. That sits in front of the broken piano as these 2 spiders chittering and with their intent to eat. Oh yeah, looks good. As they move in on it. What would you like to do, Divot?
All right, I'm gonna do my move, but keep in mind that I'm doing this backwards and facing the 2 spiders that are looking at the thing.
Absolutely.
All right.
You kind of bump into Brunor, who is set down with her blade out.
I whisper to Brenor, I'm like, "Hey sis, do we need to take them out?" And I ready my crossbow, like dead on the bigger of the 2 in the back.
All right, the one on the left. Oh yeah. You see, you're like, God, I'd really like to kill that guy. So you point your crossbow and set up. Brunor, you have a chance to reply to that real quick if you would like to.
We may be able to get out of here without causing too much of a commotion, brother. Let's just try to ease our way out.
All right. So, Divot, what else? Do you got anything else, or is your turn over?
I'm like, you're right. We need to take them out.
Okay.
Yeah, you hear Divot's voice kind of again, a little gruffer, a little darker, as he says exactly that. We'll take them out. His voice sounds cold and different.
That doesn't seem right.
And I pop a shot off at the little one.
All right. So, Divot, go ahead and give me an attack. You look, and as your crossbow centers on the smaller of the two. Oh yeah, that's real good. You've all of a sudden you see that little red mask of death just appear almost as a target on this spider. All right, with a critical miss, with a 1, you manage to shoot, and you see.
I yell, "Is this what you want?"
You see the small spider at the last moment with its spider sense notices the bolt incoming and manages to turn away, breaking its fixation on the little rat sitting on the stool. The other big guy's still like, oh, now I'll get the rat. Yeah. Oh yeah. So boom. But yes, he is now.
Next time you won't be so lucky.
Oh yeah, let's do it, boy. All right. So Divot, is your turn over? Unless you want to use a bonus action for anything.
No, not right now.
All right, so the one that you just shot a bolt at, you see him kind of like pull up like a great wad of bubbling spit in his throat. You see, spits out this giant web at you. This affects. I'm gonna go ahead and cast it right there so y'all can see it. So 17 AC. If that hits you, and that covers. Oh, it's just a target. So, Divot, if a 17 AC hits, which I'm pretty sure it does, you are restrained by webbing.
Yeah.
You feel this splatting web land at your feet. Make a DC 12 strength saving throw. Ooh, not saving throw. Yeah, check. So just the strength stat, not the saving throw itself. Oh, back-to-back ones! Oh!
Does that mean we're
the
gonna crit
saving
hit
throw
the
by
opposite
accident.
way?
You have to give a hit back.
Yeah, you have to blow into it.
Oh God, I just packed it though.
So yeah,
the
you
place.
are restrained, Gus. So you cannot move.
Okay, cool.
You have a 0 move speed until you attempt to break out of the webbing. So and
You
it
said
does
that
have
was
hit
supposed
points.
to
It
be
has
a
an armor
strength
class. You can try to like
saving
destroy
throw?
it. What's that?
Said that was supposed to be a strength saving throw.
No, it's just a strength check, which would actually be worse, or maybe even the same for you because I don't think you're proficient in it. So I think it would be roughly the same.
Yeah, I just accidentally did the strength saving throw, but whatever's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, you have a little bit of sticky web shot at your feet. I'm gonna bring some web in. A little bit of web on you. All right. So yeah, you see some sticky web stick to your feet as you're stuck in place. The spider crawls forward to you, but having used its action, it is done. It does get close enough to you though that you can feel the hot breath on the whiskered, thick lips of the spider. Oh yeah, boy, you want to shoot, huh? You want to shoot off, huh? And he's, he starts foaming at the mouth as he approaches you. Down here on the south side, Tina, coming your way is a web courtesy of the big lady. AC 16?
No.
You're an 18, I think, at least.
You have an 18.
Yeah,
That clear
I'm an
AC
18.
comes in real nice.
Yeah, I'm an 18, yeah.
So you have a shield, correct? So you managed to, you've seen her. You're walking up aware of her as she sits back, and when she goes to spit this great ball of webbing at you, you hold your shield up, and it splats upon the front. You see the web actually goes over the symbol of Thera's Dune that you have on the shield and covers it. So, she managed to miss. She's going to do the same thing, though. She's going to move into this space to kind of, again, take advantage of any attacks of opportunity if you guys are trying to go past her. But her turn is over, and she's going to give it back to Divot. We're at the top of initiative again. So, Divot, you've got this great spider in front of you. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Taunting you. What do you do?
All right. I look this spider dead in the eyes, and I tell this spider that if they let us go right now, then I promise in the future, and they know I'm good for it, that I'll bring them more than they'll be able to fill their bellies with.
All right, give me a persuasion check.
Which is bullshit.
Yes. Give me a
They don't know
persuasion. This
that.
is your action. This is instead of attacking or anything. You're going to try to persuade. They are intelligent creatures, so that there's merit in your decision there. But that just so that would be your action.
Okay, yeah, persuasion?
Yep. I got smoke in my eye.
Okay.
Oh no.
It happens. This is salvation from the smoke in the eye. Crit hit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the thing.
Ooh, my
We
dude.
like to hit on a crit because it happens 5% of the time mathematically, and I like those odds. So sweet.
Woo!
All right, so Divot. You look at this spider again. You feel the hot moisture of its breath amidst the gray sullen backdrop of this dark church, and you begin to speak. You say what you said, and as you begin to say that, I will bring you more than you could ever ask for. You see as this red image begins burning across your face. Rial, you actually see this. The top half of a red skull mask appears over Divot's face. His jaw and beard, still divots at the bottom, but this mask of red strikes over the face. You've seen it, this mask a million times in the necromantic books that Ergon had around. This mask is the mask of death. And so you see as the black eyes of the mask burn with this red energy, the spider, oh my, so sorry, master. He begins to back away. Now, Divot, if you wanted an attack of opportunity, you can. He's moving outside of your threat range. So if you want to attack this thing, you can, or if you just want to let him back away unimpeded, you can as well.
No, I don't want to attack him.
All right, so you see he backs up, and he backs up all the way to where his back bumps into this stool where the rat illusion still sits. You see the big fat one, and he starts trying to push the illusion into his mouth. His big spindly fingers go through it, and you see he now turns and looks at you guys. The ruse did work, but it lasts no longer now that he's aware of it. And so he looks at his friend who's backed up, but doesn't know why. Divot, the mask fades from your face. You're still restrained by webbing.
Can I cut him free?
All right.
On your turn.
It's true though.
Yeah.
He ain't
You know
wrong.
I love you. I'm just saying,
All
my
right.
friend.
So I want to use my mantle of inspiration.
All right. Yeah.
But
That's...
instead of turning into the six-eyed bear,
Oh, we
I
got a
want
new
to turn
mantle.
into the six-eyed bear, but in a big hood with my face kind of obscured.
Dope. All right. So you call upon this mantle of inspiration. You actually feel as this energy wraps out, and even unplanned, these black feathery wings shoot out. 8 feet long. They spread like a giant eagle's wings, flap out from behind you. You raise up from the ground as your form grows. You all see as Divot, this big flapping black wings, raises up. The robes grow over him And again, Divot, beyond your control, this giant red bone mask appears on your face. What do you say?
I say, I just yell, leave us!
All right, you're gonna get some morale saves here.
Like us?
No, them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if like
I
he
definitely
turned
mean-
on us or...
The arthropods.
And they get disadvantage due to this extreme, the fear themselves, even though they are native to this plane, even though the denizens of the plane of terror are not immune to its effects. So this visage that you've now summoned, an image familiar in this territory, the red bone mask of death and the glooming robes, they fail. That's a fail there. That's a fail there, and that is 3 fails. So yes, this booming image goes, and you hear the billowing voice of Divot as these waves of energy, almost like the bang of a gong, send out these big pulse waves that drive the spiders back into the corners. He's like, the big one, you see him back up, and one of his eyes just covers his face like he's a scared little boy spider. The other one, oh goodness. You see he runs and hides behind the piano, disappearing from sight. You hear as our big lady in the bottom, she's like, oh, sister, I beg your apologies. And she manages to back her way up into her own webbing. The path ahead of you is clear, but all of you in a moment turn and look at Divot. And suddenly from his mouth, you hear the words, the dispossessed, shall they be forever? And that's where we're going to pick it up next week, guys.
You piece of...
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Come on.
Oh, I know.
Come on, man.
Hey,
Whoa.
you don't want to be giving too many nightmares to people. We're out here to spread good feelings, right?
Oh, man.
Whew. All right, guys. I'm gonna stop that creepy music because you know what? It's time for me to just. I can't handle the creepiness. I kind of want. What do we got back? What do we got down here that's dope? You know what? You know what we need right now? Obviously.
Let's go Star Wars.
You know what? You know who I'm thinking about right
Brian.
now?
Oh,
You know who I'm thinking about right now?
I miss Brian.
It's
Me
that boy
too.
Brian the Crocodile.
My boy.
Down in Buraka. I mean, what's he up to? If only there was some comic that might tell you that we're gonna get made soon. And if you went to the WeeDnD Hub group on Facebook, you might be able to see that comic.
Yeah.
And it might have a name like Life of Brian. So, now that we've turned the spirits to that of the heroic Brian, the true hero, the crocodile, I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. We like to close things the way we open them around here. And with a special pandemic message, please allow me to remind you to wear your masks.
Get it.
Fuck, just wear them. And with that, I say we go. Lighters up. Thanks for playing D&D with us, guys. There it is. There it is. Oh, Brian the Crocodile, man. Brian the Crocodile. I'm hitting it again. I kept my
Holy
eyes
shit, you
open.
guys.
That's one of the rules is you're not supposed to keep your eyes open.
So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the